Would everybody please rise? Thank you. Very good. Okay, please be seated. Now you can listen to Mari on iTunes, and she will also be at the football game singing the national anthem tomorrow night. Thank you, Mari. She's a 9th grader at Thunder Ridge High School. You've noticed today it was a great idea. I don't know whose it was, but the best idea always wins. To have all of us meet 2 times, secondary in the morning, elementary in the afternoon, but with your whole team. We want all the team to be together. Everybody in the school that interacts with children are here today as a team, and I think that was a great idea because we all want you to be together. Now, why did we have you together? Well, because it really takes a team to save a child. It really does. And I was able to find a picture that depicts it just perfectly. See, we got the maintenance, we've got the principal, secretary, we got everybody in there. Okay? Unbelievable, but our growth, we have 13,050 students as of today. And at Thunder Ridge, I believe they're starting Monday with 1,300, maybe 1380, something like that. Unbelievable. If you want to see our growth, this is just since '01 to now. But the future growth is what we're really worried about. I hate trying to guess. And it's like Yogi Berra said, I stay away from predictions, especially the ones about the future. So I'm a little worried about it, but we had Rockwell Homes come and present in April to the school board, and Jay Johnson had done a study with all the builders in the area. And from the homes that were started and all those that were platted and submitted to the county for approval, there were 2,595 homes. And so half of those will be built in 3 years, and the rest will be 5 years. So in 5 years, you know, it's questionable how many children are in each home, but he guesstimates 2.5. Well, that's over 6,000 more students in 5 years. We're in a lot of trouble. But in order to educate the students that we have here, we have 425 new employees. Can you believe that? That's the most that we've ever had since I've been here. 425. But I want you to look at how they're categorized. 0 administrators. That really says something. We have 50 administrators, but not one has left because they love working with you and working with the children. That says a lot. That I don't know if everybody understands how important that is. Certified 113, classified 217, seasonal 26, and substitutes 69. And this is the number that's pretty exciting. 79 first-year teachers. Wonderful. So we want all the first-year teachers that are here. I know some are secondary, or some are elementary, but how many first-year teachers in the business stand up? Congratulations. It is not easy to get a job in the Bonneville School District because we only select the best, so congratulations. So we have 79 first-year teachers and we have one last-year superintendent. That would be me. And so after 37 years, this will be my 38th year, it's time. And I want to thank the school board so much because they've really blessed me and my family to help me to retire at the end of the year. So this will be my last year, and so I've got so many great people around me. I am going to try and remember what it was like, why I got into education, and that is being in the classroom and in the schools and riding a school bus and to be with all of you. So this year, you're going to see me a lot, but I don't want you to worry. A lot of times, somebody walks in and the imposter syndrome sets in, doesn't it? It's that feeling that, uh-oh, they're going to find out that I'm really not a superintendent. I've been faking it all these years. I'm an imposter. Don't feel that. I'm not there to value. I'm there to feel the excitement of teaching and learning and go out going, that's what I did for 38 years minus being an administrator. But I can't wait to do that. So don't worry at all when I come in. There's one thing, one item of business. We have a supplemental levy next Tuesday. It's critically important, $5.8 million. Can't tell you how important that is. So please make sure you have all those that you know, friends and neighbors and people that live in our district, to get out and vote on Tuesday, next Tuesday. It's so important. First day of school is Monday, so we're going to, at the elementary level, send out flyers. Hopefully they'll get home. And then we'll be doing some texting and some phone calls and emails. So please make sure you communicate that to everybody. I want to introduce the school board. We have our chair, Paul Jenkins. Should I make you stand? No, you don't have to stand. We have Amy Landers and Greg Calder and Scott Lynch. Unfortunately, Chad Dance, he's a banker, so he's busy today, but this morning, but he will be here this afternoon. Okay, right now I want to turn the time over to our incredible board chairman, who's got a lot on his plate, Paul Jenkins, and he will address you. Do you want to come up here, Paul? Or? Yes. Did you know you were going to address everybody?
Are there people in the top?
Nobody's in the top. Uh-oh.
We can carry a microphone. I have a good friend, his name is Captain Stratton. He flew F-35s in the Navy. And by the way, Navy pilots are the best because they have to learn how to hit a moving target. It's not all that easy to land on an aircraft carrier. He now is one of the lead pilots for Delta Airlines. And he flies Airbuses. Now, Airbus holds between 350 and 550 people. And he takes the long journeys from Salt Lake City to Paris and Rome and Moscow. It takes 2 miles, it takes 1 mile of runway, just a little over 1 mile to get that thing up off the ground. And it takes 2 miles to land it. And when he's coming in for landing, he's traveling in excess of 150 knots. That's 165 miles an hour. And because of the configuration, he really had a hard time even seeing the runway. There are 22 wheels on this aircraft. passenger and that Captain Stratton is following you into this. And you're just about to touch down. In fact, the wheels are just maybe an inch off the ground. Okay, hold that image in your mind, if you will. In the mountains, there's an iron ore, it's called pig iron. And pig iron really is, it's a mix of all kinds of stuff. But if you smelter that at 24 to 2600 degrees, the iron comes away from the dross. And you've seen these big furnaces where the iron is pouring out. Take that pig iron and you put molybdenum, which is mined in Idaho, and chromium, and you process it, and you heat shock it, and the ions change their polarity, or not polarity, their structure. I'm sorry if I'm doing this wrong, chemistry and physics people, I'm sorry. but you get the idea. And then if you take that and you work very hard, you can shape this stuff into a ball bearing. Now, if you take a ball bearing and you put it on an anvil and you hit it with a hammer, the hammer will bounce off and it'll leave a divot in the anvil. But the ball bearing is not injured. If that ball bearing were made out of pig iron and not processed and refined, it would seize when it reaches high temperatures. It's a refining process. It's shining enough that you can literally see your face. Okay, now let's go back to Captain Stratton. 22 wheels, hundreds of ball bearings. And your life is at stake. That's the aircraft. And the wheels that are filled with nitrogen, not oxygen, they have to be filled with nitrogen in this tank. You're safe on the ground. Whether you're working as a teacher or someone who makes sure that the schools are safe and clean and ready for the students to be there every day. If you're in food service and you're providing food and nutrition for kids, it doesn't matter. You are part of the educational process. You're part of the refining process. Our jobs in education is to be there to help refine these young people, to give them the strength so that they know what to do when they get into this world. It's our jobs to prepare them and help them be ready. As you begin this year, think of what would happen if, because you failed to do something, that ball bearing failed. We're all part of the team, and it's essential that we work together. As you begin your year, I hope it's the best year ever for you. And I really sincerely appreciate what you do, because the future, literally, is in your hands. Thank you, and have a great year.
Wow. Thank you, Paul. Can you tell he's kind of a thespian at heart? Can you tell? I'll try to match that. I've really thought hard about what to share. This is my 18th time welcoming our wonderful staff in the Bonneville School District, and I thought, what would be important? And the idea came from Margene. I don't think I ever have an original idea, but it was perfect. She goes, why don't you go back and look at everything you've done as far as presenting, and what really stuck, what really had meaning, and what was one of those fluffy things that came and went. What really was meaningful in your career, and what did you learn? So that's what I've done today. So some of these things might be you've seen before if you've been here for 17 years, but that's what I did. I tried to figure out what is the most important things that I've learned in 17 years that I can share in my last opportunity. Well, our mission statement is student success by design. It just doesn't happen accidentally. But then there's 16 words in our district vision. I only had to do with 3 of them. Dozens of people worked hard on this because this is what we're about. This is what's going to happen. And the only 3 words that I was involved with was share your talents fearlessly. Because I think that's so critical in life, that we are not afraid, that we're not afraid, that we'll step out and take that risk. Because how many times do you wish, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have. I don't want to have regrets, so sometimes I put my foot in my mouth. But other times I'm so glad that I'm not afraid to take a step or to say something or to do something. So I kind of want, in a sense, to be like this guy right here. Uh-oh. Okay, technical difficulties. Why is this not working? Let me go back. There it is.
If you've learned a lot about leadership and making a movement, then let's watch a movement happen, start to finish, in under 3 minutes, and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore, it's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. So it takes guts to be the first follower. You stand out, you create ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut, and it's not 2 nuts. 3 is a crowd, and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers, because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point, and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. And over the next minute, you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they'll be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you are a version of the shirtless dancing guy, all alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equals, making everything clearly about the movement, not you. Be public, be easy to follow. But the biggest lesson here, did you catch it? Leadership is over-glorified. Yes, it started with the shirtless guy, and he'll get all the credit, but you saw what really happened. It was the first follower that transformed the lone nuts into a leader. There's no movement without the first follower. See, we're told we all need to be leaders, but that would be really ineffective. The best way to make a movement, if you really care, is to courageously follow and show others how to follow. When you find a lone nut doing something great, have the guts to be the first person to stand up and join in.
So, it's not only important to share the way you feel, and it's also important to be a follower too. But I don't recommend the first day of school you run around with your shirt off and dance around. Don't do that. Okay? But then as educators, we all know there's examples and non-examples. And this is an example of not what to do.
The gentleman in the elevator now is a candid star. These folks who are entering, a man with a white shirt, a lady with a trench coat, and subsequently one other member of our staff will face the rear. And you'll see how this man in the trench coat tries to maintain his individuality. Little by little, he looks at his watch, but he's really making an excuse of turning just a little bit more to the wall. Now we'll try it once again. Here's the candid subject. Here comes the candid count staff, 3 of them please. And this man has apparently been in groups. Here's a fella with his hat on in the elevator. First he makes a full turn to the rear and Charlie closes the door. A moment later, we'll open the door, everybody's changed positions. Now let's see if we can use group pressure for some good. Now, in a moment, on Charlie's signal, everybody turns forward. There, notice, they take off their hats. And now, you think we can reverse the procedure? What?
Okay. So when you see a lone nut that's doing something good, you follow it. But when you see something like that, no. Okay, I don't know if you're any baseball fans that back in 1966, there was a great pitcher named Jim Kaat. And he pitched for the Minnesota Twins. And Johnny Sain was a coach on the Detroit Tigers that got brought up to Minnesota. And he'd won 3 World Series rings with it as a pitching coach. So he was pretty good. So Jim Kaat was called in to talk to Johnny Sain, and when he went in there, Johnny said, tell me what your top 4 pitches are. And he said, well, my fastball is my favorite. It's my best pitch. Then my curve, then my slider, and then my changeup. And he goes, well, what do you think you're going to work on during spring training to have a good season? He said, well, I decided I'm going to work on my slider and my changeup. If I can get those a little better, then I'll have a lot more wins this year. And Johnny Sain said, no, I don't want you to do that. He goes, what I want you to do, your best pitch and your favorite pitch is your fastball. So I want you to throw your fastball 80 to 90% all the time. In practice, in games, all season long, 80 to 90% of the time. Well, Jim was kind of going, oh, gosh, I don't know. That's not what I had planned, but this guy's good, so I'll do what he said. And so during that season, that's all he did was pitch, throw his fastball. And that year, he led the majors with 25 wins, and he won the American League Pitcher of the Year. And so what do we learn from that? A lot of times we think, I got to work on my weaknesses, and that's okay, that's good. But if you want to become great, you need to figure out what your strength is. What are you good at that comes easy to you, that other people have a hard time with? Everybody has something. What is that talent, that skill, that attribute that you have that you can focus on and make it great? Because if we try to be great at too many things, we end up being good or mediocre at everything, right? But if we focus on that skill or talent that we have and try to make it a superpower, then I think we can then become great. I want you to be thinking of what is it that is your best attribute, your greatest skill, the thing that comes easy to you, your potential superpower. Think about what it is, because I'm going to have you tell your neighbor. You know, I thought about, okay, what's made me? I think my superpower is that I'm not afraid. You know, I'm just not afraid to take a chance. I'm not afraid to fail. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know, but I'm gonna try. And I think that's probably what's carried me the farthest. It's just that not afraid. And so what I want you to do is turn to your neighbor, and hopefully you'll get validated. Tell them what you believe your greatest strength is, that natural ability that comes to you that other people don't seem to have. Identify it. I want everybody to identify it. So tell your neighbor, you got a minute. What's your superpower? Okay. Did you share it? Did you figure it out? So what if you doubled down on that this year? What if you doubled down? 80 to 90% of the time you worked on that thing that you do the best, and make it your superpower. Because this is how I look at you guys. This is our district. This is really how I see you guys. We have the best district, the very best. Okay? So I want you to work on your superpower this whole year, and let's see what happens. Let's see if you win Person of the Year. Okay? But if we are not afraid to work and show that we're not afraid to share our talents and to show our superpowers, think what all the kids around you are going to see. You're going to model that for them. You're going to model that for them. Okay, so what, as I said earlier, what can I share that has meaning? And I spent several days going back and looking at things, and I had dozens, and I narrowed it down to 5. 5 points. First, I want to talk about what I think is most important that we do in the classroom. And then, that has to do with content. But then, what is it so important that our kids leave our system being able to do? And so I've got 5 videos that, because I don't articulate as well as most, but I'm pretty good at finding things that express exactly what's in my heart. And so one of the things I've learned is that public education is the keystone to our democracy. There's nothing more important than what we do. What we do every day is the most important thing. We've never been more accountable. We've never been better. I don't care what they try to tell you. They compare us with countries that are so... there's not many people that aren't of that country. In the United States, we teach everybody. And so we can't compare what we are able to do and scores of our students with other countries. And we're so blessed to be a part of it. I've learned that it's really the relationships, right? I mean, that's what makes you love your job. It's the relationships that you create. Coming to work every day saying, I love my job. I've learned that 3rd grade is pretty important. It's really important. That if a student's not reading at grade level in the 3rd grade, they're 4 times less likely to graduate than their peer that is on grade level. 4 times. Now, if you were to add poverty to that, 13 times less likely to graduate than their more affluent peer. That's really bad. And then, when you look nationally at those in our prisons, 80% of the prisoners are high school dropouts. It's so critical that we get our students to read and help them, because we don't want them to turn out like this guy right here. Let's see if we can get it to work. Remember this guy? Okay, it's not working.
Means I am smart, and I'm self-smart, basically by myself, basically nature, smoking drugs, and doing different things, self-learning myself. And that's the whole difference, I guess, is that I don't need the books or the school type things. I just get everything on my own. Because of that, I'm alive right now. I mean, if I read more books or tried to go to college because of that, I'm dead right now. Because people say books and knowledge before being a starter, but they can also be for me to be dead, which is what could happen to me. My brain doesn't need enough oxygen because I have a whole thing filled with different stuff that for most people is not powerful. And that's why I'm alive right now. Guys, junior, can you read this book? Try to get started. I'm not going to pretend to read. I'm not going to really read it because I'm not going to go full. If I'm not there, I'm going to die. So I'm going to get around, spend time losing Trinity, get a family going in. Basically, that's all that matters to me. They come and visit me, got times in jail for the first time ever, which is awesome. This seems to be really digging me and looking really good. That's why I'm good here. See them, exercise a bit, maybe eat better, and try to go home. Oh, try to go smoke cigarettes first, and then, I'll work off the dope or whatever eventually. Although, I don't know.
Okay, we don't want our graduates, our dropouts, we don't want that to happen. Okay, so then what is it beyond the content knowledge that's so critical? They have to have that. But what do we want them to learn besides that, and the affective things? And some of these things I'm still working on. Some of them it took me till mid-age, because I'm over that now, I'm over the hump. But it takes a long time. And I'm going to go through them quickly, and we're just going to think about the message that it's teaching us on how or what we need to help our students be able to do by the time they leave us. If we can get these working.
What makes you itch? What sort of situation would you like? Let's suppose I do this often in vocational guidance to students. They come to me and say, well, we're getting out of college and we haven't finished the idea what we want to do. So I always ask the question, what would you like to do now you're in the market? How would you really enjoy spending your life? Well, for some nations, the adopted our kind of education system, proud of students say, well, we'd like to be painters, we'd like to be poets, we'd like to be writers, because everybody knows how to live like that. Another person said, well, I'd like to go down the door side and ride horses. I said, you want to teach in riding school? Let's go through. What do you do? When we finally got down something, it was the individuals that he really wants to do, I would say, can you do that? And forget the money. Because if you say that getting the money is the most important, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. You'll be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living. That is to go on doing things you don't like doing, which is stupid. Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way. And after all, if you do really like what you're doing, it doesn't matter what it is, you can eventually turn it and you can eventually become a master. Then really become a master of time. You really will. then you'll be able to get a good feel of what it is. So, everybody's interested in everything. Anything you could be interested in, you'll find out. But it's absolutely stupid to spend your time doing things you don't like in order to go on saying things you don't like and doing things you don't like. That's to teach your children follow the same track. See what we're doing is we're bringing up children every day to live the same sort of life we live, in order that they may justify themselves and find satisfaction in life by bringing up their children, to bring up their children to do the same thing, so they're all wretched and alive. It never gets there. Therefore, it's so important to consider this question, what do I desire?
We've got to help them figure out what they really desire in life. Wouldn't it be great if all of us at 18 had that figured out? It took me a long time. What can we do in the classroom? What can we do in the school system to help them? It's a critical point. If they can figure out what they truly love and then figure out a way to make it work. Because there's nothing worse than not loving what you do. Nothing is worse than that. Boy, I don't know why these aren't. There it goes.
From this distant vantage point, the Earth might not seem of any particular interest. But for us, it's different. Consider again that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on the mote of dust, suspended in a zombie. The Earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. Think of the rivers of blood spilled by all those generals and emperors, so that in glory and triumph they can become momentary masters of a fraction of a dot. Think of the endless cruelties visited by the inhabitants of one corner of this pixel, on the scarcely distinguishable inhabitants of some other corner. How frequent their misunderstandings, how eager they are to kill one another, how fervent their hatreds. Our posturings, our imagined self-importance, the delusion we have some privileged position in the universe, are challenged by this point of pale light. Our planet is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. We are obscured in all this vastness. There is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves. The Earth is the only world known so far to our life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species can migrate. Visit it? Yes. Settle? Not yet. Like it or not, for the moment, the Earth is where we meet our stand. It has been said that astronomy is a home and character-building experiment. There is perhaps no better demonstration of following the instincts than this distant image of our common world. To me, it underscores our responsibility to be more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the only home we've ever known, the living we got.
Is that humbling? Does that put things in perspective? You know, there was a great leader that walked the earth a long time ago that had a vision like that and saw that, and he thought, wow, man is nothing. Something he didn't ever suppose. And how do we teach that? That's up to you. How do we teach? How do we help them to understand and put into perspective that it isn't all about us. It isn't all about me. It's about what can you do for others? How can you bless others? Because when you listen to what was said in there and you think about all the lives that were wasted on things that just didn't matter, what matters? Okay. These are hard lessons to teach.
Roughly 28,835 jelly beans. I counted out 500 of them and used those to weigh the rest. In this pile, there's one jelly bean for each day that the average American live. You might have more beans in your life, or maybe less, but on average, this is the time you have. Here's a single bean. It's your very first day. A special day, but kind of a rough day on everyone involved. Add 164 more of the first year of your life. Now, for a sense of scale, we are your first 15 years, 5,475 days, which brings us to the threshold of adulthood. And at that moment, this is the time that we have left. And this is, on average, what we will do with all that time. We will sleep for a total of 8,477 days. If we're lucky, some of that time will be sleeping next to someone we love. We will be in the process of eating, drinking, or preparing food for 1,635 days. We will be at work, hopefully doing something satisfying, for the equivalent of 3,202 of those days. 1,099 days will be spent commuting or traveling from one place to another. Maybe a little bit more if you live in LA. On average, we watch television in one form or another for a total of 2,676 days. Household activities like chores and tending to our pets and shopping will take another 1,576 days. And we will care for the needs and well-being of others, our friends and family, for 564 days. We'll spend 671 days bathing, grooming, and doing all other bathroom-related activities. And another 720 days will go to community activities like religious and civic duties.
That was bad. I'm sorry. That's so bad. But it comes down to you're going to have one day left. And you're going to look back and say, how did I spend my time? Did I spend it on what was important? How can we teach that? How do we teach kids that there will come a time when they have no jelly beans left because they feel they're bulletproof? How do we teach that? It's for you to figure out, and I'm going to come watch you do it. But some of these lessons, how many years did it take us to figure out? Wouldn't it be wonderful if our students could graduate understanding some of this? Sorry for messing that
I can remember when you went first to school, you went to kindergarten. And in kindergarten, the idea was to push along so that you could get to first grade. And then push along so that you could get to second grade, third grade, and so on, grade up and up. Then you get to high school, this was a great transition in life. And now the pressure is being put on. You must get ahead. You must go up the grade and finally be good enough to get to college. And then when you get to college, you're still going step by step, up to the great moment in which you're ready to go out into the world. And then when you get out into this famous world, comes the struggle for success in profession or business. And again, there seems to be a ladder, something for which you reach all the time. And then, suddenly, when you're about 40 or 45 years old in the middle of life, you wake up one day and say, I've arrived. And by Jove, I feel pretty much the same as I've always done. In fact, I'm not so sure that I can feel a little bit cheated. Because you see, you're all living for somewhere where you are. And while, as I said, it is of tremendous use for us to be able to look ahead and one is never able actually to inherit and enjoy the fruits of one's action. You can't live forward unless you can live fully now.
I am so guilty of that. Always thinking, okay, I got to get there, I got to get there, I got to get there. And you know where you see it the worst, where it hurts you the most, is when your kids are gone and grown up and you go, I didn't live for the day, I lived for the future. And so, how do we teach that? How do we help them to live for the day, live fully now? Not, they have to plan for the future, that's important. But they got to live in the day. How many of us are not living in the day? Boy, you know. Okay, we're going to skip a few things because I only have a few more minutes. But, you know, in education, we have decided to come into this because we knew we weren't going to make a lot of money, but we were going to make a difference. And it's so rewarding to make a difference. What I want to do now is, there's so many people that, if you've been here in the past, out of 17 years, this is my 18th year, we've done this twice. This is the third time. So we have these roses up here, and there are champions in all of our lives, and I want all of us to be a champion in the lives of the students that we see. But there are champions that I see that have superpowers and that have made a huge difference in my life, but in this district. And so we have 12 roses here, and I'm going to give one out. And what I want you to do is, you will run out quick. So the first 11 that come down here can thank somebody that's in this room that's made a difference in their life. And the person doesn't have to speak because we don't have time. Accept it. Take about 20 seconds. I'd like to give a rose to Samantha Williams, who's back there. Come on up here, Samantha. I don't know if you watch D93 News, but it's famous throughout the United States. People, thousands of people are watching it. And whose beautiful face do we see? Samantha's. Thank you, Samantha. You're a champion. Okay, got 11 more. Who is going to be brave?
Mr. Allison, will you please come forward?
Mrs. Kim Williams, could you please come down here? Just coming down here, my first year of teaching, I would not be here were it not for her. I would not have gone through 8th grade science with her.
Mr. Bob Haggard, right here. Dr. Thurber. I'm a first year teacher, and if it wasn't for Scott Wilson here, I would never have the courage to go and get my certification, so I would stop at the I am going to go for Mr. Steve Dresden. Without him, I would be with you in this room today. I don't think this is awesome.
All right, Coach Jeff, Marshall, we'll call the road you want. I guess there's only this close, so we can tell. I want to thank Coach Jeff Marshall for taking the opportunity on me, getting who I was. I'm a first-year teacher, just graduated college, and was a teacher today with the help of Jeff Marshall. So, thank you.
What did you say about senior yet? Miss Lisa Olson?
still hate this, but Sean Crabtree, you made that step forward.
I think we owe Dr. Shafter an explanation.
Thank you. You're not supposed to do that. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the final rose. Mary, you're not supposed to do that. The final rose, who's it going to be? Scott Miller.
Margie McConnell.
Okay. They're never going to forget that. The people that just got, they're never going to forget that. They'll remember that for decades. Think about how powerful your words are to children. I still remember things that my 6th grade teacher said to me. How come? It was 10 seconds. And I'm 61 years old and I still remember. And it means a lot. The people that came up here today made a difference. And they're going to remember this day for the rest of their lives. You can do that every single day in your classroom. Find that person, find that student, find that child that needs it. Your words are powerful. They make a difference. You can change a life. You can bless a soul. You can change the world. Every day you have that opportunity. So let your words be one of your superpowers, because we can spew out words that are vile and evil, or we can say words that bless a soul. So good luck this year. We're going to have a great year. Thank you. Jason Lords, our Director of Learning, where are you? He's going to introduce our guest speaker.